On my last little World Cup lookie, we were taking a peek at the second round of Asian qualifying matchday 7, including this nice little solo goal from Al Sarori of Yemen. More from him later as we're continuing with Asia, matchday 8 of the second round. And our first game is Group F's usual one game at the National Stadium in Kyrgyzstan, Taiwan, as Chinese Taipei took on Iraq. And the video's first goal came on 19 minutes as Ismail gave Iraq the lead. There was only one more goal in the match. It came on 85 minutes with this great free kick from Mahmoud of Iraq to double their lead. That's how the game finished. However, Thailand topped the group with 13 points. In Group B, we were at the Bangabandhu National Stadium in Dhaka as Bangladesh hosted Australia. However, Australia were the team opening the scoring through Tim Cahill in the 6th minute. Some penalty box pinball led to Australia and Tim Cahill's second goal on 32 minutes. Cahill completed his hat-trick 5 minutes later with a simple tap-in to give Australia a third. Bangladesh's bad first half was not complete, however, as Miller Jedinak nodded in a fourth on 43 minutes, and nothing happened in the second half, so the final score was 4-0 to Australia. There was a bit of a shock in Group B's other game as Kyrgyzstan took on Jordan at the Spartak Stadium in Bishkek. Kyrgyzstan took the lead on 48 minutes through Zemlyanukin, and then it stayed that way, meaning Jordan lost 1-0, which also knocks them off top spot, which Australia then take with 15 points. Group H now, and the Gram Hamad Stadium in Doha, Qatar hosted Yemen's game with Uzbekistan due to security concerns. Uzbekistan's Haydarov opened the scoring on 7 minutes, thanks to a bit of a fluff from the goalkeeper, a goalkeeper I was praising in the last video. And the Yemeni keeper didn't even bother trying to save Uzbekistan's second goal from Jeparov in the 31st minute. Celebration nearly as good as the goal. Uzbekistan added to their lead on 50 minutes with a great header from Andreev. And as I mentioned earlier, Al Sarori got in the act to give Yemen a consolation goal in second half injury time. Final score: Yemen 1, Uzbekistan 3. In Group H's other game, we had North Korea versus Bahrain at the Kim Il-sung Stadium in Pyongyang, and at the end of the first half we got a WWE-style kick to the face, which was nice, especially for North Korea as they got a penalty from it. It was easily scored by Pak Kwang-yong. The gigantic home crowd had to wait until second half injury time for North Korea to confirm their victory. The second was scored by Jong-il Guam, and the final score was 2-0. North Korea topped the group on 16 points. After the crowd trouble against Saudi Arabia a couple of months back, Malaysia's Shah Alam Stadium was empty as they took on the United Arab Emirates. And United Arab Emirates opened the scoring on 22 minutes from Omar Abdul Rahman. Khalil was a hat-trick hero in the United Arab Emirates' last game against Timor-Leste. He only scored one in this one on 52 minutes, however. On 59 minutes, Malaysia did give the the caretaker maybe, something to shout about as they got a goal through bad roll, but didn't get anything else, and the final score was Malaysia 1, UAE 2. Now get ready for some goals. The Dili Municipal Stadium in Dili hosted Group A's other game, Timor-Leste versus Saudi Arabia. It did not start well for Timor-Leste, with them conceding a penalty. The pen was converted on 29 minutes through top scorer Mohammed Al-Salawi. Saudi Arabia doubled their lead 5 minutes later after a massive goalmouth scramble led to a goal from Hossawi. And then a minute after that, Al-Shari made it 3-0. Timor-Leste then managed to go a whole 7 minutes without conceding another goal. That was until Al-Salawi scored his second of the game on 42 minutes. Timor-Leste began the second half like they started the first, conceding a penalty, which gave Al-Salawi a chance to complete his hat-trick, which he did on 55 minutes. In the 70th minute, some butterfingers from the Timor-Leste keeper led to Al-Salawi getting his fourth. Al-Jassim ran through the Timor-Leste defence on 85 minutes to make it 7-0 to Saudi Arabia. And then on 89 minutes, Mohamed Al-Salawi completed his personal scoring tally for the day at 5 to make it 8-0. Added to the goals he's already got, he now stands at 13 and definitely tops the goal scorers list. While Al-Salawi had stopped scoring, Saudi Arabia had not, and Hazazi made it 9-0 a minute later. The Saudis even had time to go into double figures as Al-Muwallad headed in on 90 plus 2 minutes. The final score 10-0 to Saudi Arabia, and they also topped the group with 16 points. Guam began Group D really well, however their form has dipped recently and now they hosted Iran at the Guam FA National Training Centre in Dededo. And we weren't going to see any shocks today, Taremi giving Iran the lead on 12 minutes. That lead was doubled 20 minutes later with Cambodia scoring on 32 minutes. In the second half, some gorgeous passing led to Rezaian scoring on 49 minutes. However hard the Guam defenders tried to keep it out. They tried a little too hard a few minutes later when they conceded a penalty. Shojayi scored it on 52 minutes. A minute after the penalty, Iran raced up the pitch and Ansarifard scored a tap-in to make it 5-0. More slick passing led to Iran's 6th on 63 minutes from Taremi, and we left it at that. Final score Guam 0, Iran 6. Iran's main competitors in Group D are Oman, and they faced Turkmenistan at the Kopekdag Stadium in Ashgabat. However, Oman fell behind on 40 minutes thanks to that Georgian free kick. Surprisingly, they fell behind even further on 67 minutes through Muhadal as Turkmenistan made it 2-0. Oman did get a goal back on 70 minutes through Al Ghassini, however the damage was done and Turkmenistan won 2-1, and the result means that Iran are definitely top of the group with 14 points. In Group E, Singapore played their 4th game at home in a row against Syria at the National Stadium in Kallang. However, it was Syria that opened the scoring. A close-range header from Kribin on 20 minutes. With a minute left of the game, Singapore had a breakthrough as Syria conceded a penalty. Safawan had no problem converting it to equalise, however the story didn't end there.
Safawan getting his 3rd goal in this qualifying campaign, and how crucial it could prove.
Deep into injury time, Kribin fired home his 2nd goal of the game to break the Singapore hearts. Final score Singapore 1, Syria 2. Elsewhere in Group E, Japan travelled to the Olympic Stadium in Phnom Penh to take on Cambodia. And we had to wait until the second half for any of the action to start, starting with a penalty for Japan. And much to the Cambodian fans' delight, their goalkeeper saved that penalty. But he didn't save the own goal on 51 minutes through Labaravi, which gave Japan the lead. It wouldn't be a Japan match without a goal from Keisuke Honda, and he put the record straight on 90 minutes with that header. The final score was 2-0 to Japan, and they lead the group on 16 points. Thanks to Q8 getting suspended by FIFA, we only had one game in Group G, Laos v South Korea, and that took place at the new Laos National Stadium in Vientiane. Laos conceded a penalty early in the game, which set the tone for the rest of it. Ki Sung-young scoring the penalty on 3 minutes. South Korea were 2-0 up on 33 minutes when Ki Sung-young scored his second of the game. South Korea were 3-0 up not long later thanks to a header from Sung Hyun-min and some dodgy goalkeeping. We had another South Korean goal on 43 minutes thanks to a great finish from Suk Hyun-jun. The Koreans could only manage one in the second half. It was scored on 67 minutes through Sung Hyun-min, and South Korea topped the group with 18 points and a 100% record. We end the video with Group C, starting with Hong Kong versus China PR at the Mong Kok Stadium in Hong Kong. The game was 0-0. Here's a close chance, followed very quickly by a terrible one. Wait for it. Terrible. When Bhutan and Qatar last met, Qatar won 15-0, so Bhutan were just hoping to keep the score down at the Chanlimathang Stadium. And while they did keep the score down, they still conceded some goals. First one, Montari on 22 minutes to give Qatar the lead. Al Haidos then put Qatar 2-0 ahead on 36 minutes. Great finish there though. Qatar left it late to score their third, Al Haidos scoring his second goal of the game on 90 minutes, and the final score was 3-0. The result means that Qatar are the first team to qualify for round 3. That's it for this video. We've got loads more coming still. Africa, South America and North America have loads there. Like and subscribe.